Welcome back to the channel. This video is for those of you who either own an Insta360 X5 or have plans of picking one up in the near future with the intentions on taking it underwater. Because today I want to talk about two accessories, one of which is a complete game changer in how sharp and clear my footage has turned out, while the other has revolutionized how I even like to use my X5, which has really opened up the box as far as creativity and how I plan on using my camera to create future content. First one that we're going to talk about is an accessory that you may already be familiar with, as I used it primarily on my original video about the X5. This is the Invisible Dive Case Pro. Recently I've defaulted to using the original Invisible Dive Case, mainly due to the smaller and more compact size and how much easier it is to stow away during your dive when it's not in use. However, after Insta360 made some slight improvements to the Dive Case Pro and sent one my way to let me try out, recently fallen back in love with this thing and have no doubt that the added quality and clarity in my footage will more than make up for its larger size and added weight. Take a look at both of these housings side by side. You're going to see a clear difference in size, and in addition to that, when you add each of the respective ballast weights, the Dive Case Pro is going to feel quite a bit heavier. The Dive Case Pro will need this additional weight due to the added buoyancy that you'll get from its larger size. But even with the added weight, once you go underwater, it's going to feel pretty close to being neutral, which is why I can assure you that the larger size and the heavier feeling of the Dive Case Pro will not be an issue while you're on your dives. And I'll also mention that although the original dive case is still very usable in terms of sharpness, glare, and video quality, the improvement that you're going to see with the Invisible Dive Case Pro is absolutely drastic. There's also been some small improvements that have been added to the Pro Dive Case to improve its overall performance. You can see on the Dive Case Pro that there are different materials being used here to reduce the glare. On the internal side of the case, we have this very flat and dark material, and when using the removable glare guards that clip onto the lens of the X5, this dive case is now incredibly resistant to reflections and glare. You will also see on the bottom of the dive case that there is a locking mechanism. This is designed to keep your dive case in perfect alignment with your selfie stick while it's in use. And this little improvement, although seemingly small, will in fact keep your invisible selfie stick invisible. Now let's get back in the water and take a look at some example footage of the Dive Case Pro in action. I also want to talk about the Insta360 Dive Buddy, which is nothing more than a weighted handle that floats around with you on your dive, completely neutral in the water. Now, I'm not going to count on this Dive Buddy to save my life if something were to go wrong, but it also won't be kicking up any silt, getting into my shots, or even telling bad jokes. What it will be doing, however, is filming you and everything all around you all the time, enabling you to star in your own dive videos, which is why this accessory will make a great addition to anyone's toolkit who owns an X5. And although with this accessory, a real dive buddy is still recommended, you just won't have to rely on them so much to film you while diving. In case you were wondering how this works, the Insta360 Dive Buddy has removable weights built into the handle, where you simply adjust the weight that's inside of the handle until your rig is close to being neutral. Insta360 provides instructions on how to get started and even which one of these lines to start on, because rotating the handle in or out will make it either negative or more positive. You'll then want to fine-tune it underwater by rotating the handle either clockwise or counterclockwise until it's perfectly buoyant. Keep in mind that if you make a major change in depth, you will need to readjust your Dive Buddy accordingly by rotating the handle. There is a learning curve here, but once you get used to this, it becomes quite easy. Also, if you're wondering if the Dive Buddy works with the Invisible Dive Case Pro, the answer is of course yes. In order to do this, you will need the additional ballast weight that came with your Invisible Dive Case Pro, and then just follow the instructions included with your Dive Buddy to adjust the weight properly. The Pro dive housing works great with the Insta360 Dive Buddy, and it will give you sharp, clear, and detailed footage of your entire environment. When using the Dive Buddy, I enjoy holding it by the handle as if it were an invisible selfie stick, and then I'll routinely just let it go, allowing it to float neutral as it continues to film me or anything that's happening around me. This is great not just for the really cool footage that you'll end up getting as a result, but the neutral buoyancy of this device is a nice feature to have when you need your hands to be free momentarily to perform any routine task. Just keep in mind that if you're using this accessory, you're not in an area with strong currents that can sweep your camera away, or even heavy boat traffic that can pose a hazard if your camera were to run away up to the surface. If this does happen from a deeper depth, always respect your dive profile and never just shoot to the surface chasing after it. No camera is worth DCS or lung expansion injury, and this is a really fun accessory, but just be sure to practice first in a safe environment until you get the hang of it. Now, I've said this a number of times in my other videos, but I think there's one accessory that everyone should consider before you buy anything else. And that, of course, is going to be the Ultra battery. Depending on your settings, this battery will give you an additional 15 to 30% extra runtime, and it also won't hurt to keep the stock battery in your back pocket so that you can switch them out if needed, especially on longer trips. So for whatever reason you're not interested in any of the other accessories that are covered on this video, I would at least start with that one. And that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. Because this video is sponsored by Insta360, be sure to keep an eye out in the video description in case I'm able to offer any special discounts on the products that we talked about today through my affiliate links. And if you're interested in learning more about the X5, be sure to check out one of these two videos that I'm going to link right here. See you in the next dive. Thanks for watching.